What's up guys, Adrian Jr. here with Cincinnati Outdoors, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit of cooking. On my Instagram recently I've had people asking if I can do a little bit more of the elk cooking, if I can cook a little bit more of the elk on film. So I'm going to be cooking some of the elk tenderloin right now. So I just pulled some out of the freezer, and I'm going to give you guys a couple tips, and I'm also going to be trying out a couple new things. So just stay tuned and enjoy. So first things first, after you let it thaw out and everything, you're going to want to let it sit for about 20 minutes on a plate or something so you can get about room temperature. You don't want the inside cold, or else it won't cook all the way through very well. And then you want to cut off all this white stuff, just these little white chunks. You don't want that, you just want pure red, almost like this right here, but just cut that white. Maybe not. Go ahead. So right here's the tenderloin. You're just going to get a nice sharp knife, like any white pieces on it, you want to cut off. That stuff doesn't end up the best when after it's cooked. So you can just start trimming off a little bit of that white. So after you have all your meat cut up where you want it, it's all nice and done, it's all trimmed up, all the white's off, you can see nice clean cuts. You're going to want to cut these to more manageable sizes, maybe like inch thick pieces of meat, because a big piece like this is going to have a hard time cooking all the way through. So it's easy, just get your knife and you're going to just cut it to about an inch thick, maybe even just half an inch, so it cooks faster. Hello? Cooking. Alright, I can't right now, you're gonna have to tell Lena to because my hands are all bloody. Lena, answer your phone. Okay, bye. So after you have all your meat cut up to where you want it, it's all nicely done, you're just gonna give it a quick rinse, and then after you rinse it, you're going to go ahead and give it a pat down to dry it off so it just cooks a little bit better and takes in the seasonings a little bit better. Now that we got our meat cut up and dried out and everything like we like it, I even let it sit for a little bit longer. A little bit of blood drained out of them. You can see right there. This isn't the entire tenderloin of the elk, but it's a little section of it. So with this recipe, I'm just gonna try to keep it really simple. Right here, just some salt. I didn't have fresh garlic. Usually I use fresh garlic, but this will have to work. It's diced garlic. It's put in olive oil. And then also just that pepper I was explaining, just a little bit of that pepper. And I wanted to explain real quick, guys, I know this video isn't like hunting or fishing or anything, but I really like to cook, and you know, I always like to experiment with my wild game and everything. So go ahead, comment down below if you guys like seeing cooking videos. I might do a couple more because I always like to cook my wild game and try to eat it a whole bunch of different ways. Go ahead, comment down recipes. I'm always willing to try a couple new ones, but let's go ahead and get to cooking again. You're gonna want a hot pan to start off, so we're gonna go ahead and just turn on the pan right now. There it goes. You don't need it too high, just so it starts to warm up a little bit. So while our pan's getting hot back here, we're gonna go ahead and season up our meat right now. We got this pepper right here. All you gotta do is, it's simple. Just get some on your hands and just sprinkle it over. You don't want too much. I might even been a little bit too much, but just sprinkle a little bit over your meat. Don't need too much. You don't need heavy seasonings you don't need heavy seasoning on your meat if it's not super thick. A real thick steak or whatever you're cooking is gonna need a little bit more seasoning than something smaller. So then just grab a little bit of salt, also do the same thing. Pour it in your hand, just take little pinches of it and just sprinkle it over the meat. From here, all you really have to do is take the back sides of the meat and just kind of rake up the rest of it. You don't need too heavy of a seasonings. That should be plenty. You can kind of even massage the seasonings into the meat a little bit. Might help it a little bit. So our pan's pretty hot now. We're just gonna take some extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna use this. Just put a good little amount of olive oil in the pan. And now all you're gonna do is just grab your pieces of meat. You want to almost hear like a searing noise. Like that. Can you guys hear that? It's exactly what you want to hear when you put the meat on the pan. Just grab your pieces of meat. So there's good oil. Just start laying them down in there. It won't take long at all once you're at that heat. So we're gonna go ahead and bust out this garlic. We got our garlic. No precise measurements here. We got a little teaspoon. We're gonna take a little teaspoon of it. Chuck it in there. Kind of helps with the flavoring. A little bit of it just everywhere. So after a little bit of time on each side, gonna got a pair of tongs. Can start to flip them. Now, elk meat and big game meats and all that, you can eat them medium rare. You don't want to overcook them or they will get chewy. They'll get super chewy if you overcook them. Go ahead and just mix around that garlic with them. Rather take up that garlic. Maybe turn up the heat a little bit. The heat went down. Yeah, but big game meats like deer and elk and everything, if you overcook them, they get chewy. So you can cook them medium rare. We'll try to do that right now. Kind of mix them around, keep them stirred. Your whole point is to cook each side fast. So at most, the thick pieces will be about 2 or 3 minutes at most on each side. Most of the time. Sometimes it takes longer. Depends on what you got. So at most, it'll just take on these thicker pieces, at most maybe 2 or 3 minutes on each side to cook to medium rare. Your whole point is to cook it fast on each side, and then constantly pay attention to it. So these pieces are just about done right here. After you take your meat off the pan, you're gonna go ahead and just let it sit on your plate or wherever you have it for a little while, maybe just a couple minutes, because it'll help the juices kind of lock into the meat, and it'll just keep your final product tasting better. I've always found that while I let like my food rest and everything, it's always the best time to clean up, because obviously you're gonna make a little bit of a mess. You can see right here, got everything all over the cutting board, and I already cleaned up a little bit. Alright guys, now for the moment of truth. We're about to see if it's well done. I don't have a meat, I don't have like a cooking thermometer, so it's all on feel for me. The smaller ones are definitely done, but these thicker pieces, we're gonna go ahead and see how they're cooked. You guys can see a nice beautiful pink in there. That's medium rare if you ask me. That looks perfect. It's exactly how you want it. See, if some people don't like medium rare, those thinner pieces we cooked, they're gonna be a little bit more well done. So that'll suit the people who don't like their meats medium rare to even rare sometimes. Alright guys, so here's the real moment of truth. Does it taste good? Now normally I would make like a whole meal with this, maybe some salsa or some other stuff with this, but I don't have that much time with me right now, so I'm just gonna eat this. But normally you can make yourself like whatever else you want to with this stuff, and it actually turns out pretty good. So let's see how it tastes. Real tender. That's a tenderloin. That's why they call it the tenderloin. It's a real tender meat. And that's actually a really good recipe right there, guys. So, if you guys like this video, go ahead and comment down below if you guys want to see a little bit more of the cooking videos. Go ahead and comment. Maybe I'll do a couple of the javelinas, show you guys a little bit how we cook that, maybe, and some other stuff. So, go ahead and comment down below. If you liked it, go ahead drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe for weekly outdoor videos. We're going to be doing a lot of hunting and stuff. We're actually going to California this weekend, so I might do a hunting trip or maybe some sort of fishing in the ocean, so that'll be cool. But just stay tuned guys, we got some more videos coming out for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you outdoors.